be as natural as I can.
It's good. I'm Dr. Dan Mulricks, and I want to welcome you to the Chaplaincy Care Faces of Chaplaincy Care. We normally do interviews, and today it's very special for me because I have an interview with a great friend of mine, Judge Michael Scionti. Began to be a friend with him a little over 4 some odd years ago, and what he has been able to do at the Hillsborough County Courthouse and in the lives of our community has been absolutely incredible. And so it is a thrill to be able to have him with. Mike, thanks for joining with us today. Over the last 4 years of all the stuff that you've been able to do, and especially the impacts with our community through the courthouse, what has been one of your biggest moments that you're like, boy, that was good? What was one of your good big moments there?
Well, thank you so much for inviting me. Presiding over the Veterans Treatment Court. It's a labor of love. I've been overseeing our Hillsborough County problem-solving court for now 4 years, standing on the shoulders of Judge Greg Holder, who shepherded that court through for a few years, and it started under Judge Richard Weiss. But over this last 4 years, myself and the team that compose the Veterans Treatment Court have made it the national model, the federal national model for all Veterans Treatment Court, and it serves as the basis for the federal legislation that's making its way through Congress to support veteran treatment courts across the country. They're all looking to the court that we have here in Hillsborough County. So I'm humbled, I'm honored to be serving our community as one of your circuit court judges and to be presiding over that Veterans Treatment Court. Now, I haven't done it alone, of course. We have the incredible work through Colonel DJ Reyes, who presides over all of the mentor court.
That's right. That's right.
He was the epicenter for the creation of the Veterans Treatment Court.
Wow.
And with representatives from Julianne Holt's office and Andrew Warren's office, the state attorney and public defender, they have some incredible attorneys that are devoted to helping our veterans. The VA, they contribute some of their best VJOs or Veteran Justice Outreach social workers to assist us. And of course, all of the other court administration and folks that really give their all to helping veterans who are struggling from post-traumatic stress disorder, from mental health disorders, from substance use, alcohol use disorders, coming up with a treatment plan that's uniquely suited for them and help them get back onto their road to recovery and rehabilitation. So
one of the things that I remember when I stepped in, because I was able to watch some of your sessions with the veterans there and the people that were, especially the mentors. What a great group that comes in and it's not just there, but walks beside the veterans through this. But one of the things that struck me, Michael, is when I was looking at not only the people that were going there because they were being given an opportunity to do something to change their life, not just for what they did, but to be able to change their life for the best. And you were giving them the opportunity to do that. But I remember one of those sessions, and I was sitting there before you began. You called a young man up before you that was about because of some of the situations that led him to stand before you, which is usually not a good day anyway. But you started it by this way. You said, before we begin, I know that there is a celebration of life that you have. You've just had a baby. You knew that about that person. See, this wasn't just a number. This was a name. This was a person. And you stopped the court, and before you began, you recognized that that man had had a baby in his life and how important that was. I wish you could have seen it from my point of view, but everybody at that moment is like, wow, how does he know that? It's because you don't just serve as a position. You serve as someone who wants to pour into the person. And that's what makes you such an incredible judge. But I believe also it's because of the military background that you come into it. You've been there, done that, and you know the scars and the smell of smoke of war. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing right now.
Well, and if I may add, these are veterans who are struggling, and I can feel their pain. I've served over 20 years in the United States Army Reserve. I'm still serving. I'm a commander of the 139th Legal Operations Detachment. So I care deeply for my soldiers, their well-being, their families. And in combat, after having multiple tours of duty in Iraq and Afghanistan, I know firsthand what some of these soldiers have experienced. Through my own faith, through family and friends, I had the strength to get through some of those difficult times. And I realize that many of the veterans who appear in front of me just aren't as fortunate. So me presiding as the judge over an incredible team of professionals, and mentor volunteers. We all rally to the aid of our veterans who are struggling.
Good.
And it's just been an incredible experience for me, a life-altering experience for me. Quite frankly, I think it's my calling, having served our community in so many positions of trust, of public trust, presiding as one of your circuit court judges overseeing Veterans Treatment Court is just a humbling and an incredible experience. So.
Well, that what you bring to the table is something that's going to, I believe, make a continuous impact. Because you brought out kind of three things of what you try to make sure about that support. You know the importance of family. You know the importance of friends, because the friends that are around you are either going to make you or break you. And you also understand the power and the foundation of faith. Because without those three, there's a lot of stuff that pull apart. And you're trying to bring those together in such a way that you're giving these men and women an opportunity to be able to excel. Now, I know that that's not, all that you do is the Veterans Court. What are some of the other courts that you get into very quickly?
Well, I also preside over Hillsborough County's Juvenile Delinquency Court along with two other judges. So there are many parallels between those two courts. Mm-hmm. In Veterans Treatment Court, we have veterans who are struggling from mental health disorders, substance abuse disorders, and in juvenile delinquency, we have children who are struggling with post-traumatic stress, mental health disorders, and substance use disorders. And I treat both of them as problem-solving courts, and I think we're making good progress. Again, I'm not doing it alone. I preside over an incredible team in juvenile delinquency represented by the Public Defender's Office, the State Attorney's Office, the Department of Juvenile Justice, and all of our community partners that are out helping our juvenile community keep them out of jail, keep them in school, listening to their parents, listening to their teachers, getting them the mental health that they need, and the substance abuse treatment that they need.
I said the thing that you're doing is you're actually protecting our future, because when you're pouring into these young men and women, like you did for the veterans, you're giving them a great picture of what grace looks like and feels like to have a second chance. And that's huge for what you're doing. That's awesome.
My wife, she's a local pediatrician, and between her patients and the young men and women that I oversee in juvenile delinquency, we really, we believe that we're helping many families and their children's get their children on the right path, on a better path. So we have a lot of families, I think, that we touch just through our commitment to our public service.
And so now, one of the things that I'm very passionate about doing is I want to make sure he continues that service. Judge Michael Scionti, you're about to go for re-election. That's going to be in the August primaries. What can we do to help rally to support around a man that has integrity, credibility, authority, and has a compassion to take care of our community? What can we do for you?
Exercise your right to vote.
Right.
August 18th, it's a Tuesday, is the primary. It's important that those of us that have been in uniform like yourself and like I continue to serve, we fight, we defend for those rights. One of those rights is your right to vote. That's and right. I would ask that you please go out and vote August 18th for Judge Michael Scionti, Group 19. I'd appreciate your continued trust in me as a good steward of our profession, as a good steward of the bar. I hope I've made you proud through the last several years of service, not only as your judge, but in uniform and through all the various positions that I've had serving our community. So
excellent. One of the things that I do, he's made me proud, not just because of the judge that he is, but because of the person that he is. The heart is what gauges everything. I hope you're going to join me on that August primary, because I'm going to check the ballot for him. I pray that you'll do the same, because when you check a ballot for Michael Scionti, you're checking a ballot for a heart that is for the people. God bless you as you go into this day. Hey, and thanks for joining with me as we had this time of the interview of the Faces of Chaplaincy Care.